The scene became chaotic. Everyone rushed into the battle. The divine flower sighed, "Your friend just arrived and started fighting, no one is protecting us." A loud roar echoed. "Not good, that horse is still alive and it's charging here, you have to think of a way," the divine flower said. The mutant buffalo was really tired, but he insisted, "Don't worry, everything will be fine." Because the mutant buffalo had felt a familiar and powerful breath. Big fellow, boom, a powerful punch from a familiar person, it was the panda. He always appeared cool and confident, even the divine flower was moved by this panda guy is too cool. The horse took a punch from the panda and plunged straight into the ground below. "Made it in time," the panda confidently said. The panda said, "It seems you guys have been beaten very badly." The buffalo immediately retorted, "Those people are all superhuman second order, don't underestimate them." The panda continued, "If I'm here, I won't let you guys get hurt anymore." Feeling underestimated, the mutant buffalo affirmed in annoyance, "I'm still very strong." As for the divine flower, she found the panda more and more adorable. Then the panda told them to stay and wait, he would go and solve everything, then immediately left. The divine flower told the buffalo that this panda guy is really cool, but the buffalo just rested and pretended not to hear anything. At this time, the white tiger was fighting with the straw hat guy. After being torn his cloak, the straw hat guy revealed his body, really fat. Almost like the straw hat guy was cornered, while the tiger had too much fighting power, and he was getting weaker and weaker. He considered for a moment and decided to use his ultimate technique, even though he himself could suffer a lot. Suddenly the belly of the straw hat guy swelled up. In just a few seconds it was as big as a car. Stomach acid, he released a large amount of green digestive acid towards the white tiger. There was too much acid that covered an area of land. All creatures that touched it were corroded to only bones left. Where the white tiger appeared was a light green sphere. After releasing all the accumulated acid in his stomach, Straw Hat was just skin and bones. Because to prepare for today, he had accumulated a large amount of acid in his stomach for many days, and used it all at once. Feeling victorious, he quickly left. But the white tiger suddenly appeared behind him. The white tiger had caught him. Straw Hat turned back for the last look, his whole body turned green with fear. Crunch! The white tiger had eaten him. Over here, the Dragon Guard's guy was stuck in Tan Kwang's sharp earth thorn pile. Finally Tan Kwang had trapped him. The Dragon Guard's guy knew he couldn't escape, angrily shouted, "You are a traitor to mankind, damn it, whether it's you or that girl, so strong but relying on Misty Mountain." But Tan Kwang didn't want to argue, he gave his opponent the quickest death. The remaining swordsman member of Dragon Guard stood in midair, only knowing to scream his teammate's name in despair. But just a second of his distraction, Nine Tails had hit the target. Nine Tails said, "Dare to look around again, do you underestimate me?" But a beam of light from below surprised the fox quite a bit. It was that swordsman guy preparing to counterattack. The light concentrated on his hand. Sword slash. A long-range energy slash was performed unexpectedly. Nine-tailed fox could hardly dodge. But the panda appeared and stood in front of the nine-tailed fox. He arrogantly said, "This move I don't even need to dodge." The panda directly punched into that energy sword, causing this sword path to shatter. The swordsman was shocked, couldn't believe his eyes. There was such a strong mutant panda? The panda continued to use speed to suppress his opponent. A strong punch. The Dragon Guard's guy quickly backed away to dodge. The panda sniffed his nose pretentiously. The swordsman still couldn't believe his eyes. This is a wild mutant panda. Isn't it that the federal government has kept them all already? Could it be? This panda is the one who escaped from the zoo at that time. The swordsman asked if the panda was Chizai. The panda was surprised. "How do you know my name?" At this point the swordsman was sure this was Chizai, immediately said, "It really is you. Why are you relying on Misty Mountain? Your brother will be very angry when he knows." The panda replied, "It seems my brother has followed you guys, but who I rely on doesn't need anyone's intervention or permission." The swordsman decided to bet once and said, "If you cut off your relationship with Misty Mountain, I will agree to take you back." The panda pondered. At this point, the nine-tailed fox stood next to the panda. The swordsman continued to say, "So, will you go with me?" If not, there will be a day when you and your brother will have to fight each other. You don't want that, do you? The panda inadvertently thought of his brothers at the zoo, but he quickly decided, forget it, I refuse. A moment of silence. The panda continued, I don't want to betray the tree god, nor do I want to fight with my brother, but if that day comes, I will give this life back to my brother. Then there's nothing more to say. I will use my strongest technique to end everything. The swordsman was angry and determined, a powerful force surrounded him. Even if I have to die, I will ruthlessly peel off your skin, the swordsman said while his eyes lit up with a terrifying murderous intent. The breath is too strong, be careful, the nine-tailed fox warned everyone. The swordsman loudly said, this move, even if you can dodge it, you will be injured by the shock wave. Whether you dodge or block this move, it's useless, take this move. This is his final move, a transcendent second order with terrifying power. Even the panda felt threatened. Solitary swan heaven slicing technique. Boom, but a polar bear appeared. It was the leader of the polar bears. What's going on, brother? The panda and nine tails were preparing to take the final move of a powerhouse, and this big guy appeared on top of that swordsman's head? Too absurd. The polar bear said, finally caught up with you guys. Nine tails replied, what the? Is that so? Over here, the hot girl Tian Kam was still fiercely fighting with Zhao Jiao. The boy gritted his teeth anxiously. He found that all his teammates and colleagues had died. If he continued like this, he would also die. But at this moment, Tian Kam swung a plant whip extremely fast towards Zhao Jiao and said, why don't you just die? The plant whip with supersonic speed had pierced Zhao Jiao's neck. He died instantly. The divine flower exclaimed to the mutant buffalo, big guy, your friends have won all their battles. The mutant buffalo was not surprised, just agreed with the divine flower. This is the real power of Misty Mountain. On a high mountain peak, a beast's foot as white as snow. Two mutant beasts, one black and one white, were silently watching. They felt lucky not to have joined that battle, otherwise, they would have fallen like those people. And they also understood that Misty Mountain is now not an ordinary force they can mess with. They also discovered that among the characters under the tree god, there was a fox from their clan, with very strong power. Surely the bloodline talent of that fox girl was not ordinary. Even from afar they still felt oppressed by her spiritual power. They told themselves that one day they would be as strong as that. On one side, the land was cut and desolate. One house sat exhausted in one place with injuries all over his body. It looked like he had aged 10 years. A beautiful foot came over. It was Xiaoling. Wang Hao yelled, what's up, you're awake now, aren't you? It's not like you at all, being controlled by that divine flower. Xiaoling defended. It's just a small incident. Wang Hao angrily said. Being controlled by the divine flower is a small incident? You almost killed everyone. I had to use the spiritual power accumulated in 50 years to bring you back. Do you know how big that price is? Xiaoling didn't care much. At this point she just found him noisy. She was wondering if the herd of mutant buffaloes had completed their mission yet. Xiaoling said, you rest, I'll go see if there's still a chance to snatch the divine flower back. Wang Hao shouted, wait. Wait a minute, I saved you. You can't just leave like that. You have to marry me, right? Oh my god. Such a simp. And at this point, only Wang Hao was left alive. It could be considered a happy ending for him. Zhao Jiao was dead, a plant piercing through his body, his eyes closed. But there was a purple cloud flying fast. It was Zhao Jiao's soul. He was still in shock now, didn't expect the reinforcements of Misty Mountain to be so strong. They swept everything clean, but it's okay. As long as his soul is still there is still a chance to start over. Suddenly a huge purple mouth appeared, the same color as his soul. What the hell is this? A giant purple spider had swallowed Zhao Jiao's soul. This spider is Xiaoling's weapon. Zhao Jiao's soul was sealed by the spider in a purple gem. It's all over now. The next morning, the hot news shocked the entire alliance. All the powerhouses who went to rob the divine flower were wiped out. Not a single survivor. Members 7, 8, 9 of Dragon Guards all died in battle. City Lord Zhao Jiao was dead. City Lord Gourmet City was also dead. But Wan Hao and Linger's bodies were not found. Their whereabouts are still unknown.